Hey bees of HB, welcome back to HB Tales. Subscribe as we are continuing our story. It was a crisp afternoon in Los Angeles, and Kylie Jenner was heading out of her favorite boutique in Beverly Hills. The sun gleamed off the window displays, a reminder of the luxury and success she had worked hard to achieve. Paparazzi loomed nearby, as usual, eager to capture any fleeting moment of her day. But Kylie, dressed in a sleek black jumpsuit and oversized sunglasses, was unfazed. She was used to the attention. As she slid into her custom rolls, a faint voice stopped her in her tracks. "Excuse me, miss, could you spare some change?" Kylie turned her head toward the source of the voice. Standing a few feet away was an older black woman, dressed in worn clothes and holding a small cardboard sign that read, "Hungry and homeless." For a moment, the world seemed to freeze. Kylie wasn't one to shy away from giving back. Her philanthropy often went unnoticed amidst the glamour of her public persona. Without hesitation, she stepped out of the car, her designer heels clicking against the pavement. She reached into her bag and pulled out a crisp $10 bill. It wasn't much, but the gesture came from the heart. "Here you go," Kylie said, with a warm smile as she handed over the bill. The woman looked up at her, her eyes glistening with gratitude. But as Kylie turned to leave, something stopped her. There was something familiar about the woman's face, something that tugged at a distant memory. "Wait," Kylie said, her brow furrowed. "Have we met before?" The woman hesitated, her expression shifting from gratitude to something more guarded. She shook her head quickly. "No, miss, just another face in the crowd." But Kylie couldn't shake the feeling. Something about this woman's voice, her mannerisms, struck a chord deep within her. Over the next few days, the encounter lingered in Kylie's mind. Despite her busy scheduled product launches, interviews, and photo shoots, she found herself replaying the moment. The woman's face, her voice, haunted her thoughts. Finally, she decided to take action. Kylie reached out to her team and asked them to locate the woman. She wanted to do more than just give her $10. She wanted to understand her story. It didn't take long for her team to find her. The woman, whose name was revealed to be Margaret, was a familiar sight in the area, often seen near the same boutique where Kylie had met her. Kylie arranged for a private meeting at a local community center. When Margaret arrived, she seemed nervous, her hands fidgeting with the hem of her jacket. Kylie greeted her warmly, offering her a seat and some refreshments. "Thank you for coming," Kylie began. "I couldn't stop thinking about our encounter. I wanted to know more about you, your story." Margaret hesitated, her eyes scanning the room as if searching for an escape. But eventually, she sighed and began to speak. Margaret shared her story, a tale of heartbreak and resilience. She had once been a school teacher, dedicated to helping underprivileged children in her community, but a series of tragic events had upended her life. The loss of her husband to illness, mounting medical bills, and the eventual foreclosure of her home had left her with nothing. "I didn't choose this life," Margaret said, her voice trembling. "One thing after another just broke me." Kylie listened intently, her heart aching for the woman in front of her. But there was something more, something unspoken in Margaret's words that hinted at a deeper connection. As the conversation continued, Kylie noticed a small locket hanging around Margaret's neck. It looked old, worn with time, but it carried an air of significance. "May I see your locket?" Kylie asked gently. Margaret hesitated before nodding. She unclasped the necklace and handed it to Kylie. As Kylie opened the locket, her breath caught in her throat. Inside was a faded photograph of a young girl, Margaret's daughter. But what stunned Kylie was that the girl in the photo bore a striking resemblance to someone she knew all too well, herself. "Who is this?" Kylie asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Margaret looked away, tears streaming down her face. "That's my daughter," she said. "She was taken from me when she was just a baby. I don't know where she is now." Kylie's mind raced. Could it be? The resemblance was uncanny, but it seemed impossible. She thought of her own family, her upbringing. She had always known she was adopted, but her adoptive family had been her whole world. Yet, she had never known much about her birth parents. "Margaret," Kylie said, her voice trembling, I think I might be your daughter." The room fell silent. Margaret stared at Kylie, her hands covering her mouth in disbelief. "That can't be," Margaret whispered, shaking her head. "They told me she was gone forever, that I'd never find her." But the more they spoke, the more pieces of the puzzle began to fit. Details about Kylie's adoption, the timeline, and even the locket. Margaret had kept all these years. Everything pointed to one incredible truth. The days that followed were a whirlwind of emotions. DNA tests confirmed what both women had come to suspect. Kylie Jenner, the billionaire beauty mogul, was indeed Margaret's long-lost daughter. The revelation sent shockwaves through Kylie's world, but instead of retreating into herself, she embraced the news with an open heart. She invited Margaret into her life, determined to make up for lost time. Margaret, in turn, found herself overwhelmed by the kindness and generosity of the daughter she thought she had lost forever. Kylie helped her find a place to live, provided financial support, and, most importantly, gave her the love and respect she had been deprived of for so long. The story of Kylie and Margaret quickly made headlines, capturing the hearts of millions. But for Kylie, it wasn't about the publicity. It was about finding a piece of herself she never knew was missing. In the end, the $10 encounter was more than just a moment of kindness. It was the start of a journey that would change both their lives forever.